Good afternoon, everyone. It's me, Jessica, and Uncle Buck, and don't forget Fred, here today to guide you through an awesome mind-body practice where we're just going to focus on relaxing. Uncle Buck, you're like a child right now. So you've got a couple minutes to just tell everyone in your space, hey y'all, I'm about to do some yoga. So I'm gonna get you some snacks and you can all chill out for the next 45. This is gonna be some me time. Think about putting on some really relaxing music, turning on some awesome lights, or maybe just turning the lights off. Grab some water just in case you need it. Have a couple sips right now. We're gonna start today in Savasana. So if you wanna lay down early, do it, and I'll see you on our mats in just about 3 minutes. Okay. You're gonna poop for the people? That's so nice of you, Fred. Okay. I'm gonna hold off on that now that peanuts are coming. Oh. This is a good peanut, just in case you can see that. That's a triple decker. It's a triple decker, Fred. Now, if you're maybe tuning in and thinking to yourself, Jessica, I thought you said you were going to hang those curtains yesterday. I want you to know I tried. But I got a really janky drill. And it didn't actually come with any drill bits. Of course it didn't. So I can't really put up the curtains just yet. But I thought about it. You know what I say? Just set that intention. Breathe in awareness and exhale. Letting go of everything that you just can't control. Great. I had to grab the timer, but I grabbed the remote. It's that kind of day. Okay. So I'm just going to sit here in Sukhasana before we get started. Jessica. We've got 1 more minute before we're going to come into that starting Savasana. I do recommend that you have a block today. Yay! And if you don't happen to have a block, but you can go get a towel and roll up a towel, we're going to end today's practice using this block for a little bit of support under our back for a supported shoulder stand. It's a lot more chill than I just made it sound. But what word? Hi, Uncle Buck. You're fine. We just went outside. You had a treat. Everyone loves you. Just make sure you have some water too. You do? Okay, I'll share. All right. If you're just coming here, oopsies, great timing. We're gonna get started. So come on, lay down on your mat or start in Savasana. There's a hole in my chin. It's fine. Bring your heels together to touch. Allow your toes to fall open. Keep your arms relaxed by your side, close to the sides of your body. Palms facing up towards the ceiling. Take a couple moments as you first get down here to really just relax as much as you need to, making sure those shoulders are underneath of you for a little bit of support. Sometimes it takes a moment or two laying down on the mat to notice, hey, I'm I'm doing something uncomfortable down here, and I could actually relax a lot more if I just dot, 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 dot. And that is different for everyone every day. Maybe it's easy for you to come into this stillness right away, but do it. If you find that there's any tension in your lower back, go ahead and just bend your knees. Feeling some lower back tightness right now, so I'm going to take this modification. I'm going to tap my knees in towards each other so that I can find a little bit of a tilt of my pelvis up to draw my belly in, to get my lower back a little bit more supported flat on the mat, drawing those shoulders away from my ears. Chin slightly tucked towards the chest for me, because I have a tendency to stretch my chin up towards the ceiling. But for you, maybe this just feels totally neutral. Just relax the back of your head on the floor and come back to your breath. Taking the time to take in all of the sounds that you hear, either in my room or in your room at home. I'm enjoying both Fred and Uncle Buck snacking away. That's okay. I am happy, they're happy, hopefully you're happy, everybody's happy. All right. If you want to set an intention for your class today, now's a beautiful time to do so. We'll take about 3 more breaths right here in our Savasana before we start moving through some asanas. Not that Savasana wasn't a posture too, we're just not moving in this one. Okay, so take your time, one at a time. Make sure I'm looking at the right card. I want you to draw your knees up towards your chest for a little bit of knees to chest pose. As you first get into knees to chest pose, you might have noticed that you rounded your shoulders up to help reach for those knees to draw them in towards your chest. And if you did just think to yourself, yup, I want you to use your exhale to just open up your chest and pull the back of your arms and your shoulders towards the floor a little bit more. And you can open your knees a little bit wider right here if that's going to help you to open that chest. But I don't want you to find arching of that lower back, so still pressing that lower back into the mat and just coming into as much of knees to the chest as you can today, keeping the back of your head and your neck on the mat. Take 3 more relaxed breaths right here. Just notice if you're engaging your chest or your abs, any extra. Your belly should still be drawn in for some core support. But we're not really working to extra engage. This is more of a passive posture, just a gentle stretch. Great, whatever side looks good to you, I want you to roll over towards it. We're gonna start in this fetal position, both arms. Just gonna roll over so you can see me a little better. Both arms in the same direction as your knees. You can even relax your head on the floor. Draw that stomach in again. Find some engagement of that core. Support your belly and your back. Take a deep inhale and open your top arm. You can move your eyes to follow your hand. Try to touch those fingers, the back of your hand towards the whatever's behind you, and then inhale it back in. 2 more times. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale, arm lifts. Exhale, close, nice and slow. Inhale up. Exhale down into the twist. Inhale up. Exhale down, hands closed. 1 more time. Inhale up, exhale down into your twist, and we're just gonna hang out right here. Our first little spine twist of the day. Find where it feels comfortable for your chin. If you're feeling a little bit more open, want a little bit more challenge in your stretch, turning your chin all the way towards the arm that's not stretched towards your knees. Or if you want a little bit more passive of a stretch, keeping your head in the same direction as those knees. Draw your shoulders away from your ears. So engage your upper back right now, squeezing those shoulder blades towards each other. Pull that belly in. Do your best to relax both shoulders down to the mat. Take one more breath right here. And then use your inhale to once again lift that arm up. And exhale, bring those hands together. Let's roll over onto our backs. Come over to the opposite side. Same thing, opposite side. So starting with those hands together. Same direction of the knees. You can relax your head on the floor, so you might need to adjust your shoulder underneath of you so that you can relax your head on the floor. Already working to find a little bit of length in your spine. Take that inhale, stretch your hand up. Exhale. If you can, tap your fingers on the floor. Inhale up. Exhale, hands close, and if you can, hands follow your eyes. Two more. Inhale up. Draw that belly in. Keep that length of your shoulders away from your ears. Tap down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands palms together. One more time, full range of motion. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Hands palms together. Last time, let's stay out here. Open on whichever side you're extending towards. Take a couple moments. Be kind with yourself and your breath. Maybe you can relax and release both shoulders down towards the floor. Still finding that big stretch from your hips through your knees. Even thinking about, as we're a little bit more warmed up on this second side, stretching those knees down towards the end of the mat, even squeezing them in towards each other to engage a little bit more of your spine in the twist. Draw your shoulders away from your ears. Work to even right here. Engage that core, knit that rib cage together. Find some abdominal engagement. Just a couple more breaths. Work to create space, both mentally and physically. And then use that next big inhale to lift that hand up. Exhale, bring those hands together. Are we staying on our backs? I don't even remember. All right. Yay. We're going to roll over, actually, and come on into tabletop. Tabletop. I'm going to face this direction now. So good. You're at home, so you can face whatever direction works for you. Go ahead, get those hands palms underneath of your chest. Spread your fingertips out nice and wide like a starfish. Start pressing those knees down into the floor. Just taking a moment here in tabletop to engage your back and really work to take the rounding out. So if you find yourself or found yourself in tabletop a little passively with some rounding of your shoulders, which is very typical if you've been spending a lot of time at your desk or looking down at your phone in your hands, I just want you to, as we did a moment ago, find some length, shoulders away from your ears, squeeze those shoulder blades together, and draw your belly in to create that flat back. Awesome. From here, we're going to do a little bit of a plank warm up, but don't worry, we don't have a plank coming just yet. We're really just warming up those calves. So go ahead and stretch that left leg out behind you. Keep your right leg planted and tuck your toes under. Get the ball of your foot towards the floor. Start to squeeze your glute, and we're not moving the foot yet, but I want you to stretch through your heel as if you were reaching for something, but you're not going to reach for it because you have the ball of your foot planted and nothing's moving yet. Just waking some things up to begin with. All right, and now we're going to find a little bit of movement, pressing forwards and backwards. Starting to warm up the wrists a little bit more as well. For 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Go ahead, draw that left leg back in. Take a moment, sit back onto your heels, and let's find some circles with our wrists in both directions. Just shake it out. Take any stretches that sound or feel good for you in these hands. A little flexion and extension of the wrist, just waking some things up. Oof. This one's feeling much tighter than the other. It happens. All right, let's come on back into that tabletop. Spread your hands wide. Make sure you're pressing into your hands palms and that you have a little bit of pressure of the pads of your fingers in the floor as well. Draw that belly in, engage your back, squeeze shoulder blades together, knit that rib cage back together, keep your abs engaged, and go ahead, extend your right leg out. Tuck the ball of your foot under and stack your heel on top of that ball. Start squeezing your glute, engaging that leg, stretching through the heel. Amazingly, I just heard someone take candy off of my door for Halloween, and warms my heart. I covered my door with taped up Halloween candy so that I didn't have to see anyone. I live in a secure building, but there's a couple kids here, and it just made me really sad to think that they wouldn't be able to get any candy for Halloween. But you know who has enjoyed it the most is all of the delivery drivers. And I don't know who these other people are that are not entirely the people who live here, but I've heard a lot of, oh my God, Reese's, what? We can take these? I'm taking this. While I'm sitting here working. All right, find that movement back and forth. Also, if they eat it, I don't, and I like that. Okay, go ahead, draw that right leg in. Take a moment once again to sit back. Circle those wrists because we're going to come back into that tabletop one more time. We're going to get a little bit of ab work. We're going to get a little bit of glute work and back work. But you know, then you'll feel strong. You really can relax into the weekend because you know that in some yoga you got to challenge that core a little bit too. All right, so coming up next, we've got some bird dog. Go ahead, keep your left leg and your right hand planted on the floor. Once again, squeeze your shoulder blades. Knit that rib cage, draw that belly in, and go ahead, extend out through your left hand and right leg. Awesome, just hanging out here in our bird dog for a second. I have my thumb facing up towards the ceiling. I'm pointing my toe. Trying to touch the opposite walls of the room, but still keeping that squeeze of my core and my back, starting to feel it a little bit. Take one more deep inhale. And on your exhale, find a little rounding in your spine. Squeeze your elbow and knee together. Pull that belly in. And then inhale, stretch it out. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, crunch. Hold for 2. Inhale, stretch. Exhale. Inhale, stretch. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Hold it out there. Everything out. This time we're going to inhale and lift. Or exhale, lift. Inhale, down. Still squeeze those shoulders. I like to inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Just keep breathing. 2 more. Draw those shoulders from your ears. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Last one. Do we just do an extra? I don't know. Go ahead, bring your left hand down, but we're still going to work with this leg behind us. So inhale up. Exhale, touch the floor. Inhale, lift up as high as you can. Exhale, reach out to the side, tap down. Try not to twist those hips. Nice and slow. Exhale, find as much crossover as you can. Inhale up. Exhale, cross. 2 more. Inhale up. Exhale, cross. You know I meant in both directions, right? Inhale up. Exhale, cross. Last one. Inhale up. Exhale, cross. Inhale up. Exhale, cross. Inhale it up one last time. Go ahead and bend that knee, heel up towards the ceiling, and little squeeze. Press back into your hands, palms. No wearing those shoulders as earrings. 8 more. 8, 7, 6. Use that glute to find the kick. 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead. Bring that right leg in. Send your hips back towards your heels. Walk your hands out in front of you. Relax your head down to the floor and take a moment right here in your child's pose. If you want, you can even wiggle your hips a little bit left and right. If you're really feeling some tension in your shoulders, you want an extra stretch, tent those fingers. Make yourself some spider hands to find a little bit more engagement, a little bit more of a stretch in the back, maybe even stretching one shoulder blade a little higher than the other. But take this time, a little recharge to really slow down your breath. Two more breaths right here. Great, go ahead, press yourself back up into tabletop. Walk those hands, palms back in. Find that flat back. So finding that flat back really does mean pulling your belly in. You can see I just demonstrated that as I come here, if I'm not engaged, you see this big old dip in my back and my shoulders come up towards my ears because it's been a long week, y'all. Been a long week. So it's very normal for you to be in this stressed position. So really take the time to press into those hands, palms. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Pull that belly in. And make sure your hips are stacked on top of your knees. Let's go ahead and get the opposite side. So this time you're going to step your... Oh wait, sorry. We're moving into the bird dog. Don't laugh at me, Uncle Buck. Yeah. All right, this one feels right because I don't have as much room, so that's natural. All right, so you're keeping your left hand down, your right knee down. Go ahead, extend your left leg out, right hand out. That's right, my hand is on your special blanket and you're just gonna have to get over it. I really want you to stretch from your fingers, try to touch the opposite sides of the room. Hold it right here, come back into that hand palm pressed into the floor, belly tight, and let's get our 5 crunches. Ready? Take a deep inhale and exhale, draw it in. Inhale, extend out. Exhale, pull it in. Inhale, extend. Exhale, pull in. Try not to rotate those hips either, keeping everything squared down to the mat. Eyes still focused down on the mat. One more. Awesome. Let's squeeze and lift and lower. Lift and lower. Back is engaged, belly tight. 2 more. Awesome. Go ahead, release that right hand down towards the floor. We're going to inhale, draw your left leg up. Exhale, cross all the way over to the right side. Inhale, lift it up, nice and slow. Exhale, tap it out to the side. Keep that belly to the floor. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Halfway. Press into those hands, palms. Notice if your shoulders became earrings. Mine did. 2 more. Who's starting to feel a little burn? Last one. Inhale it up. Bend that knee, sole the foot up towards the ceiling, little squeeze. Use that exhale. Press the sole of the foot to the ceiling. 8 more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Press into your hands, palms. Awesome. Go ahead, draw your left leg down. Take another moment, send your hips back towards your heels. Another opportunity for child's pose. Maybe being a little more gentle on your shoulders this time. You can fold your hands in or just bend your elbows by your side to get your head below heart's level for sure. Just slow down your breath. Take a moment right here, finding that one spot to relax your eyes, relax your focus, or even close them so you can relax your mind. And making your exhale even just a hair longer than your inhale is going to slow that heart rate down, and that's what we're going for right now. Okay, press yourself back up. We've got one more super fun thing we're gonna do right here in tabletop. We're gonna go for tiger pose today. So once again, press into those hands, palms, pull that belly in, press into your knees. We're gonna extend our left leg, right hand. I meant to say the other, but it's okay. Into bird dog one more time. Engage your back, pull that belly in, bend your knee, and slowly reach your hand back to grab hold of your foot. I'm grabbing hold from the pinky toe side of my foot. I'm squeezing my glute. I'm kicking up everything we just did. Take 2 more breaths right here. Stay lifted in that hand palm that's grounded on the floor. And then change, slowly release, extend everything out once more, and then relax it down to the floor. Take a moment in cat-cow right here. Just getting a little opening, a little back bending in there in your bird dog. Just finding a teeny bit of a forward fold here, even just in cat. It's a nice counter pose to any back bend. Awesome. Let's go ahead and get the other side. So press back into your hands, palms. No shoulder earrings. Find your nice flat back. Ground those knees into your mat. Draw your belly in. Extend your opposite hand and leg. Press back into your grounded hand. Keep that big lift. Find that length with your spine. Bend your knee. Sole of the foot stretches up towards the ceiling. Point that toe. Slowly extend your left hand behind you. Reach back and grab hold of your foot and kick up. Keep your hand palm under your chest. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Keep that belly engaged. 2 more breaths. And then change, slowly lower down, release, extend out. Relax your hand back down towards the floor. Oh, yay! Okay, let's go ahead, tuck our toes under, send your hips up towards the ceiling. We're gonna walk our hands up to our feet or your feet to your hands. Just take a moment right here in a dangle. I'm heel toeing my feet back together because I really like to dangle with my feet closed. It feels nice and stable for me. And then feel free to take as generous of a bend in your knees as you want, such that you can still keep most of the weight in your heel, maybe in the balls of your feet, a little, but not really in your toes. You can see I can lift all of my toes up. Even as I extend my hips higher up towards the ceiling, the weight is in my heels to find the stretch along the back of my legs. My belly is pressed against my thighs because you want to take this rounding out of your lower back. So if you find that you try to reach down towards the floor and your upper back rounds and your shoulders come up towards your ears, I really want you to focus on bending those knees and pulling your upper body forward. Even if you don't come down quite as much, that's okay. If you happen to have a block, you can always reach for a block. And if that feels far, just place your hands on your legs or even your forearms on your thighs. Is still gonna just help you work towards creating the strength. My primary yoga practice and training is Bikram yoga, in which we use no props. You just do the best that you can with your body, and every day is different, and it is a 90-minute practice that you can do every single day to make change. You can find time for yoga every day of your life, and being inflexible is no excuse, because flexibility is learned and strength is built, and with practice comes just a beautiful practice. Okay, awesome. Go ahead, plant your hands on the floor, send your legs back. We're gonna do a nice little flow, but we're gonna start here in plank. All right, so you have those abs engaged and those shoulders pulled away from your ears, just like we practiced in our tabletop. Take a deep inhale, send those hips up towards the ceiling, and just like you did in your forward fold a second, I want you to bring your belly towards your thighs. So press into your hands palms to bring the belly more towards the thighs to find a flat back, and you can just walk the dog right here, which means bending one knee a little bit more than the other, bending your heels. I really love to just press up all the way onto my toes and then start to release my heels more to the floor. It's one of my favorite stretches here in down dog. I'm just gonna tuck my shirt in super duper fast while you guys are doing that. Don't worry, just a couple more breaths. And then I want you to step or jump forward, whatever feels right for you, and hang out once again in this forward fold. Take a deep inhale. We're going to find a half lift. So your half lift is creating length in your spine, maybe straightening those legs a little bit more, finding that flat back and keeping your head in line with that back. And then once you have that flat back, hopefully you can release your belly in your forward fold a little bit more. Where am I taking us from here? So good. So with your hands down on the floor for a little bit of support, go ahead and step your right leg back. Bring the ball of the foot to the floor. Heel's going to stay lifted. You're going to inhale up. I'm going to cut my head off into a crescent lunge. So your front knee is bent. You're bringing your hips forward. Take a deep inhale. Reach those fingers up. We're going to open up, turn towards your back leg, and bring your hands, palms down in line with your shoulders to come into warrior two. Turn your head towards your extended hand in front of you. From here, we're going to come into peaceful. So turn your front hand palm forward, your left hand palm lifts up. Inhale, stretch that left hand up. Eyes follow it. Right hand stretches down your right leg as much as possible. And then we're going to come back into warrior two. Straighten out your left leg. And then take a deep inhale, hinge forward at the hips. Stretch your left hand fingertips forward as much as possible. And then on your exhale, just relax your left hand down in the direction of your ankle as you extend your right hand up towards the ceiling. If you can't get that left hand down towards your ankle, you can always bring it towards your thigh, and if that's uncomfortable, come back into bending that knee. So I want you from here to extend your right arm up towards the ceiling as if there's a wall behind you and you're trying to touch both shoulders to the wall. So your left hip goes back, your right hip comes forward. All right. From here, simply turn towards your left foot. We're going to come into a big lunge. Bring your hands down towards the mat. Keep your right hand grounded. Inhale your left arm up towards the ceiling. Pull those shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, release your left hand back down towards the floor. Step your left leg back into your plank. And we find ourselves right where we began. Inhale up to down dog. Take a couple breaths right here in your down dog. We're being cool today, you guys. We're not forcing any chaturangas, no extra planks. Vinyasa flow is not my specialty, but I am trying to shadow some of the other awesome teachers from our company, some of my amazing friends, to be able to bring you guys a little bit more of a flow related practice. All right, so here in down dog, either walk your feet forward or jump forward. Wait. Yeah, okay. Step or jump forward. All right, take a moment here in your forward fold. Take a big inhale. Come into your half lift. Exhale. Back down into your forward fold. Place your hands on the floor. Inhale, step your left leg back. Inhale your arms up, coming into our crescent lunge on the opposite side. So the ball of your back foot, whichever one is back, is on the floor, but your heel is lifted and your hips are forward. Take a deep inhale, find that lift from your waist, and exhale, turn out and bend that front knee. I'm gonna hinge forward so I'm not on the floor. Awesome. To come into your warrior two. So really opening up those hips up, but turning your chin towards your extended left hand. Turn your left palm up towards the ceiling. Take a deep inhale. Come into your peaceful. Another little back bend. Inhale, come up into warrior two. Straighten that front leg. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, hinge forward at the hips. Find that big lean. And then reach your hand down towards the floor for an extended triangle. If this is too much pressure, either in your knee or you have trouble reaching your foot, ankle, remember you can bend that front knee and bring your forearm down. Continue stretching up, and then really open that chest. So rotate that upper shoulder towards the back. Draw those shoulders away from your ears. Bring your right hip down and forward. Sorry, left hip down and forward, right hip back. Especially if you have that knee bent. All right, both hands come down towards your front leg. Find that bend in your knee. Bring your left hand to the floor. Right hand to the floor. Inhale your left arm up. I'm working backwards, you guys. I'm working backwards to try and do the same thing you're doing. Awesome, then go ahead, exhale your right hand back down towards the floor. Extend your right leg back to meet it. Send your hips up towards the ceiling. Back to your down dog. Take a deep inhale. And then step or jump forward. One more time in your dangle. I'm not going to make you guys go through that again, because we have some other fun things we're going to move on to. So slowly, gently roll yourself up. One vertebrae at a time. At the top, take a deep inhale. Bring those arms up overhead. Bring those palms together and take an exhale. Bring your hands down to heart center. From here, we're going to come into tree pose, or any sort of balance pose that really works for you. Tree pose being one of the easier balancing poses. Awesome. So for today's tree pose, picking whichever leg you want to start on, just being really mindful of where your knee is. You can bring your sole of the foot to the opposite leg, maybe down towards the calf. Maybe you can even, that ankle is weak. Maybe you can even bring it up towards your inner thigh, but we're not going to place her right here on the knee and apply pressure there. And I want you to, whichever leg is lifted, extend that knee back, squeeze your glutes. Make sure you're still grounding equally through whatever
foot is down on the floor, pulling your belly in, finding one spot of focus. So finding the four corners of your foot, the two sides of the heel, and both balls of the foot. You're not rotating out or in. And change. Take a moment, bring your feet together, relax your arms down by a side, hang out in mountain pose. Great, take a deep inhale, bring those arms up overhead. Palms come together. Exhale, bring your hands down to heart center. Ground your feet into the floor, squeeze your glutes, hips forward. Shift the weight into your opposite leg and come into your tree pose on the opposite side. And maybe you can do a little bit more on the opposite side. You know what? You can always try. And if it doesn't work, you don't have to stay there. But you know what? You tried. A little bit of muscle flexibility memory. Because the most important part too is that you're finding the stability and grounding in your most stable foot. And if you're wobbling and you're barely touching one side to the other, that's okay, but you don't need to be all the way up here. Just like take time, come back, try this tomorrow. While you're brushing your teeth later, experiment with some treat. So we are squeezing glutes, pushing hips forward, really activating through that bent leg. Take one more deep inhale. Exhale, step your feet back down. Inhale, both arms up overhead. Exhale, rain those fingers down towards the floor. Inhale up into a half lift. Exhale, release that belly all the way down towards the floor once more. Bend your knees as much as you need to bring your hands a little bit closer to the mat. We're gonna step both legs back, hang out in an actual plank for 5, 4, 3, find that good form, pull that belly in, 1, and bend those knees. Awesome, go ahead, shift your hips over to the side. We're gonna take our legs forward, just a couple more postures here before we finish up. And use that block to find our supported shoulder stands. So fun. Okay, so bring your hands behind you for a little bit of support. Keep your right leg ground. Inhale your left leg up and cross it over your right. Finding a figure 4 stretch right here. Depending on how flexible you're feeling, you can walk yourself in a little bit closer, but focus on sending that knee away from you to find that big stretch throughout the back and outside of your leg. Keep this lift in your chest. Start to slow your breath down. If it feels really good, you can even really gently rock your knees a little bit side to side. Beautiful. Walk your hands back. Make it easier to uncross. Feel free to even take a second to windshield wipe those legs, especially if you didn't a moment ago. And then keep your left foot ground. Inhale, lift your right leg up. Cross it and walk yourself back in. Stretching that knee away from you, keeping that belly pulled in nice and tight. So good. Feeling so nice right now. Gonna bring that gentle little rock side to side. Back to the party. Party, 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 party. It's a yoga party, party. Awesome. Walk your hands back, gently uncross. Slowly lay down on your back, but make sure you have your prop along with you. All right, so keeping those knees bent. We're gonna take a quick little glute bridge to lift our hips up and place your block right at your sacrum, at the lower part of your back, like where it's meeting up with your bum. I place my block in a high direction because I want a little bit of a bigger stretch right now. But you might want to place your block or your rolled up towel just flat here on the mat. And on your back, You got to do what feels right for you. You know what I mean? All right, so from here, we're just going to warm up a little bit. I want you to draw. I want you to draw your right leg in, because for digestion, we always draw our right leg in first, so it looks like I'm drawing my left leg in, but I'm not. All right, so draw your right leg in, and then exhale, extend that leg up towards the ceiling. Flex your toes back towards your face, and while you're here, I really want you to focus on keeping your upper back and shoulders down on the mat. So bring your hands down by your side, open that chest, shoulders on the floor, belly pulled in nice and tight. If you're having trouble extending your leg as much as I am, that's okay. You can have a slight bend in your knee. Working with the body that God gave you. It's a beautiful one. Whatever it looks like, or whoever gave it to you. You know. All right, okay, draw that right leg in. Take your time and bring your right leg down. Inhale your left leg in towards your chest. Exhale, extend it up towards the ceiling. Make sure you're keeping that upper body on the mat. I have my belly drawn in nice and tight for a little abdominal engagement and support. Take one more big breath here. Go ahead, bend that knee, bring it back into your chest. Lower your left leg down. Once again, draw that right knee in. Keep your hands on the floor. Keep your forearms on the mat. Draw your belly in. Draw your left leg in. Take one more deep inhale. Exhale, extend those legs up. A little supported shoulder stretch right here. Just kind of like an elevated version of legs up against the wall. Really focus on exhaling and relaxing that upper body and back more on the floor. I know that with every exhale, I'm just expanding my upper back as much as possible to get that down towards the mat. If it feels good, if you feel supported by your block, you can even stretch those toes a little towards your face. All right, if you stretch those toes closer to your head, bring them back up towards your ceiling. Take your time, draw your legs in, maybe going one at a time. Definitely one leg at a time, back down towards the floor. I'm going opposite of the way I came in. When you have both feet back down on the mat, take a deep inhale, lift up your hips. Release your block from underneath of you. Exhale, release your lower back down on the mat. Go ahead, kick your legs out. Relax your arms down by your side and come into your Savasana. Completely relax and release yourself here into the mat. We'll spend 2 minutes here in final Savasana together. However, I encourage you, if you have extra time, to go beyond our 45 minutes of class, which honestly, we're going to 46 minutes of class. Well, that's okay, right? This 1 minute of togetherness beyond our schedule is free. Still free, still worth it. But if you can take 3 more minutes, make it to 5, do it. So come back to that nice slow breath. Take a scan of your body from head to toe and just notice any place that there might still be some secret or noticeable tension. Bring a smile to your face and just be so proud of whatever you brought to the mat today. That you created this time for yourself to just breathe and be and move is such a beautiful and powerful thing. I'm so thankful you made this time to join me. Okay, I encourage you to stay in Savasana longer. So we're going to close out our practice from right down here. Go ahead if you would like to move, and you don't have to. You can just send some good vibes. You can bring your hands, palms to the center of your chest in Namaskar. Just really taking a moment with those hands, palms together and feeling the warmth that you're creating through your hands, to think about all of that warm healing that you've also created throughout the rest of your body. Go ahead, bring your thumbs up to your third eye, your drishti, that spot right between your eyebrows. Find a little stretch of those elbows up towards the ceiling. Press your back into the mat. Ooh, knit that rib cage together. And take a moment to just say, Namaste. Thank you guys so much for coming to class today. If you have any questions or concerns, I encourage you to reach out. But as always, just think good thoughts. Speak good words. Do good deeds. Eat good foods. And nourish yourself from the inside and out. And whatever is meant to be will be. And we will be together again next week to just yoga through it. I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your day. Whatever time it is you came to join me, I'm just so thankful for your presence, for your energy, and for our support for each other. Namaste. Namaste.